Okay, I decided to start the show on a love note. Love is in the air, people. It's in the air. It's in the air. And you can't do anything about it. It's in the air. So as you guys know, earlier today, well, in case maybe you didn't know, breaking news. Breaking news. Love is in the air. Okay, it's been announced that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged to be married. She is the fiance now, so when you see her name pop up on the screen when she's at the games, it's going to say Travis Kelce's fiance now. Yes, yes, yes. And NFL fans, if you thought you were getting rid of her, you're just not. Okay, this may be his last year. Apparently, this may be the last rodeo. So I feel like he wants to end it with a Super Bowl win. That's just my thing. It's just my gathering, even though he has rings already. I feel like most people want to end their career on a high note. And based off of what happened last season and then get into the Super Bowl and what was going on, I feel like it's kind of like a redo, a redemption. He's already lost some weight. He said, he's being more focused this year, like even more focused than he was, because last year he was in, what is the movie called? Happy Gilmore. He was in, on tour with her, popping up at shows, doing more fashion. So really trying to get himself set up for when he does retire, then he has something to go back on. I mean, he hit a lick. I'm just saying. I know he got his own thing and everything, but it's the Taylor Swift. Like, you have to come on. So I think this time, this go around now, this year, he's going to come in and just be a lot more focused and a lot, really gearing up for his next stages in life, right? And I said I was going to start opening the shows on like motivational notes, and this right here is a testament. It's a speaks because they've been dating for 2 years, right? Heck, they may have been dating a little, we know they've been dating for 2 years, right? And now they're engaged, moving at the pace. Now, I'm not saying you gotta, put a time limit on things, but what I'm saying is stop allowing people to waste your time. Especially to my ladies. Don't stop allowing people to waste your time. Okay, if you can take it from anybody, take it from Taylor. So if you've seen the way that she went through her breakups and makeups and dropping them, and when she dropped them, she dropped them. She dropped and moved on, right? Stop letting people waste your time, especially if you are dating somebody and you really want to have some type of intent with him. Men too, stop letting women waste your time. You don't have no reason to be wasting time. If you don't want to, if you can't see yourself being with somebody, stop wasting your time by being with them for years upon years upon years. Stop wasting their time. Stop wasting your heart. Go find somebody else that you really want to be with. This story right here is that though so many people dislike it and they hate it, it's a great way to look at the structure of what relationships could really look like. These two individuals are well known, powerful in their own sense, in their own industries, busy as heck, but they found time to make time to be with one another, to do and have all the things that, you know, regular couples per se, him popping up, going on tour, being with her, going places, introducing to the friends and all those other things. And all of this happened in a natural progression of 2 years. After 2 years, heck, after 3 years, that person should know if they really want to be with you or not. You shouldn't have to, second guess it. You shouldn't have to think about it long term, like, do I really want to be with that person? You shouldn't have to do all that because they should know, you should know, and you should be carrying on the way that you're supposed to be carrying on. Stop letting people waste your time. Stop letting people waste your time. And that's all. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, we got a lot to talk about today. I just felt as though I needed to open it up with this, like, ta-da! I just they decided that today was the day they were gonna say it, just in time for the season. So when she's in there cheering, because that's that. When it's my time, that's what I'm gonna be doing. You ain't better tell me now. I'm like, yes, do I look cute? Do I look, But congratulations to them. Hope they have a very happy and brilliant union. He seems to be in a happy and better place than he was, and so does she. So, hey, Can't hate on it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Now we have a lot more to talk about. We have Tyreek Hill's messy divorce and what's going on. We have Jay Cutler having to spend time in jail if he ain't already do his time, but had to spend time in jail. The Commanders finally get it right. I did watch Naomi Osaka's documentary on Tubi. We're gonna talk about that because I know I dragged her, like a couple shows ago, and so much more. Excuse my voice. I feel like I'm under the weather with something. I don't know. Probably gonna be being out in the rain the other day at the game, but either way, we have so much to jump into, and we are going to do it right after my introduction. Okay. So let me go ahead and play that for y'all. Admit it. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it loud. Got your feeling so proud. This is how we do it now. Daily dose with this. Got you coming back for more. Huzzah. I don't know what's going on with it today. It like took me out, take it forever. I don't know, y'all. Just listen, technology bears. And when you're the only person doing your technology, you have to do it, pay attention and talk and think of, it's a lot going on. It'd be a lot going on, but thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for being here with me. So where should we start today? we're gonna start here. Boom. So as you know, the 53-man rosters were coming out today. People were getting cut. People had already started getting cut. Like, I think the day after preseason game number 3, it was like, okay, we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off and you're cut. You're done, kind of thing. So a lot of all of the rosters came out. What bugged me is that Pittsburgh had 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Like, what are we doing? Wasn't everybody dragging Cleveland because they was like, Cleveland is going to mess around and have 4 quarterbacks, and then Pittsburgh come out and have 4 quarterbacks. Why? What is the need for 4? What is the need for 4? Let me know, because I'm not quite understanding that there. I'm not. I don't know. I know it probably was hard to cut one of the 4. I think Skylar Thompson has done enough to be on that roster. So I think that was a smart choice. I think that they just have a loyalty, a locked inness with Mason Rudolph. So they felt like, okay, even though he has been playing like hot dumpster garbage, we're still going to just hold on to him. We're going to hold it, right? And then you have Aaron Rodgers there, which is supposed to be QB1. So that that's that. And then Will Howard, I would have thought that they would have just go ahead and put him on like the IR list or something, because from what I understand, his hand, arm, and all that is still kind of messed up. So we're not going to even see him anyway. And he's a draft pick, so of course. But if you had to let one go, what I think that they thought was going to happen is, I didn't think that they thought Skylar was going to be as great as he was and do as well as he did. And then like, oh crap. We like him. He's good, and that's a thing. That's a thing. So I think that they just are, they're like the Browns. They're having a hard time over there. But the Browns did trade Kenny Pickett. Shador did make the roster as QB3. So I made a video about it earlier. I talked about it on Sunday Funday. Was it Sunday Funday? Yeah, Sunday Funday, about the marketing aspect, the news, the media, and all of the revenue sharing, the market value, and all that of the Cleveland Browns going on, because it seems like every day we're talking about the Cleveland Browns some way, somehow. Will that probably decline a little bit? Yes, but we're still going to, all the media is still going to very much talk about it, because you have a Sanders over there, and no matter where that name is, you're going to want to talk about it. You're going to want to be like all eyes on that team. So of course they may not want him. They don't want to play or whatever, but they want the money and they want the stuff that's keep like going on. So I feel like that's the reason why. And outside of him just being good, but I also feel like when you look at how they named QB2 and 3, it's really just the draft, order 3, 5. Like, it just, They would have a hard time trying to explain to some why Shador would have been put above Dylan anyway. And then what they would have been like, oh, well, his last game was. But see, here we go. We're still talking about it. We're still talking about it. So it's a win-win for them, and that's just how it's gonna be. But other notable cuts that I want to talk about. So the New York Giants, they did cut quarterback Tony DeVito. Tony DeVito. They did cut him. I they had, first of all, I knew they were going to cut him because they had their quarterback room is full, literally full. They not going to cut Winston because at the end of the day, he's also good for their marketing. He's also good for their brand. You know, that man is a chef's kiss. He's like a treasure, a timeless treasure. I can't get the phrase that's in my head that I want to say. He's like one of those timeless treasures where it's like, you know, of course, why would we not keep him on the roster? I don't know if they will be able to make him a backup because he still can very much play, because Jackson Dart is going to take over after Russell. He is. You can mark my words on that. But yeah, their quarterback room is loaded, right? A good problem to have, of course. But Dart is next up, right? So that's going to be the nature of the beast there. I'm a fan. He played really, really well, and I think that his mentality, his confidence, his game is going to translate over really, really well when it is his time. New York maybe have finally gotten it together. Maybe they finally got something right, and I can't even believe I'm saying this. I cannot believe I'm saying this right now. I can't believe I'm saying it, but they may have gotten it right. Let me know, chat. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Let me know. They may have gotten it right when it comes to their future in Dart. So, I can't believe I just said that, but I did. So they cut Tony DeVito. The Browns did cut the wide receiver. We're gonna get it right. The Browns cut wide receiver Diontae Johnson. For some, it must have been fake news because I thought Diontae Johnson was trying to go back to Pittsburgh. It may have been fake news. I don't know. But now I feel bad because I definitely told a fan that, and they were like, "What? Oh my God!" Sorry if you ever see this. Sorry, I told you the wrong thing. I was just like, "Can you believe that? Can you believe they're trying to take him back?" It's like a stray cat, you know. Just go somewhere. I think his career is gonna be probably over pretty soon. The Chargers cut wide receiver Brenden Rice, which is Jerry Rice's son. That was a big thing all over the social medias today, was that they cut his son. I mean, it happens, but I do think that because of his name and because of his, you know, he's not he's not bad, right? But I just feel like, I don't know. He didn't have a lot of like news and media on him, which is a good thing for him, but hopefully he'll find his home somewhere else. The Bills cut wide receiver KJ Hamler. The Bengals cut quarterback Desmond Ridder. The Dolphins cut cornerback Mike Hilton, which was a surprise for me, but kind of not really. The Commanders cut wide receiver Michael Gallup. Michael's still looking for a home, child. And the surprise to me was that the Saints cut running back Cam Akers. So that was I didn't see that one coming. So those are the notable cuts that I got to see and that I've been seeing. Obviously, Renfro got cut as well, and a few other names, but it wasn't any like super duper huge names. These names here were, like I said, were the most notable for various reasons. A lot of quarterbacks, you know, got the boot, got the cut. And I mean, that's expected, especially when you know you have a high value quarterback in front of you. Hell, you got 2 in front of you. And in New York's case, you had 3 in front of you. Like, you kind of knew your time was going to be cut short. And then if you get out there in the preseason, this is why I say preseason, may seem like it's all cupcakes and rainbows, but a lot of these players are doing their very best because they're trying to make these rosters. Like Jimmy Horn made the roster, made the 53 man for Carolina, showing up, how you perform in camp, how you perform at practice, how you perform on the field for preseason. And now look at it. He's on that 53. So you have to go out there and do your very best. This is their auditions. They get 3 games to audition, essentially, outside of training camp and all that. So yes, cupcakes and rainbows for now, but it's also like for them, this is their like audition. And as a person who has been through audition, who's made it on several different teams as a dancer slash cheerleader, and knowing like some teams are really like one day and that's it. Like you get 1 day to impress, and if you don't impress, you're out of here. Sometimes you get to go through a 2-week camp, a 3-week camp. I think I spent a month, nearly a month, with one team with the training camp. So like I know how it feels. And you get out there, and it's, when it's time for the showcase, so you get out there for dress rehearsals, and you really have to do your best, because you may not think that you're being judged, but they're definitely judging you, especially the coaches. They're judging, they're looking to see how you retain. They see if you do what you're supposed to do. How do you show up? Oh yeah. They're judging for real. So I know what it felt like. Trying to fix my little bangs over here, y'all. Hair will be different come tomorrow, trust. But yeah, I know what it must have felt like to be out there and you're doing your best and you're trying your hardest and you're putting it all out on the line. And I actually know a few people that did not make the roster, so hopefully they made training camp, practice squad. But it's like, it's a thing, it's really a thing, Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna stay with our football stuff since we're here. Do I have any? Yeah, we're gonna stay with our football stuff. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Jay to the Cutler has to spend time in jail, and it's not as much as you think, right? But it's probably gonna be it's gonna be a lot for him, but he has to spend 4 days in jail. If you don't remember, or you probably don't, but a couple weeks ago, months or so ago, I made a video where I was talking about this, and I was like, Jay Cutler got arrested, and he got pulled over for being drunk behind the wheel, so a DUI. And did I get the whole thing? Nope. I thought I took a screenshot, but I didn't. Okay, hold on. Okay. So back in October is when I made the video, because back in October, that's when he was arrested for the DUI. He's been sentenced to 4 days in jail. His Tennessee license has been revoked. They've taken it. And he had to pay a fine of $350. And he'll be doing his 4 days of jail from in September. So it'll be September 29th to what? October 4th, the 29th, 30th. This is 30 days? I mean, how many days is it in September? 30. So he'll be in there the 29th, the 30th, the 1st, and the 2nd. So he will get out on October the 2nd, probably process him out by October 3rd, knowing how that works. And yeah, he also has to take a safety class. Jay, stop drinking and driving, yo. Get you a driver. You too old. You know better to be out there doing some crap like that. Like, come on. Come on, dog. You drinking and driving. What was going on? He having is this a cry for help? Is it a cry for help? Okay. But yeah, y'all, he has to go to jail for 4 days. $350 fine. He has to take a safety class. Tennessee said you're no longer driving in the state. License is revoked. You're done. You're cooked. Goodbye. That's essentially what Tennessee said. And, I wonder what would happen if he was in somewhere like Florida. or like Texas, you know. Everybody always say like the stuff is, everybody's punishment is very different. And yes, it is. Everybody's punishment is always gonna be very much different regardless, um, regarding whatever state you're in when you do the crime, right? It's going to be very different. Some states are a little bit more lenient. Some states will, you know, you're going to have a problem with them, just depending on what it is. And then you have to also look at like their criminal history and their record. What happens? You know, what have they done? What have they been convicted of? All those things. Like how many times do you have a DUI? Like I literally had a battle in the Army. She literally had, I think, two DUIs, and then she came home from deployment and got another one. It was like, girl, you they should have took her license after that second one. I'm just saying, but she just kept doing it. You know, she didn't learn from her behavior. So at that point, maybe she needed to spend a little time in the clank clank. Maybe that would have, you know, beyond scared straight. I don't know, but they were so lenient, right? So she really didn't face any real trouble until she got to that third one. And God forbid she never hurt anybody, but like third one is probably too far. You know, getting 3 DUIs is not, you know, that's not tea. Okay? Not tea at all. Very quick announcement here. I don't know why this photo is off of the thing. That's weird. But yeah, the Commanders did right. Scary Terry now has a new contract worth worth $96 million for 3 years. So that's about $32 million a year. And I know some people were like, woohoo, we've given all this money to a 31-year-old wide receiver. That's like, stop playing, okay? Stop playing. He's done his part. He's outperformed the contract, or, you know, he's outperforming whatever metrics you've asked of him. He's not in any trouble that we have known of. And if he is, then he got somebody in his media pocket where they're covering it up. But I don't think that he is. He's a stand-up person, a stand-up guy, doing what he's supposed to do, doing what he needs to do. I don't, you know, I believe he wanted, I think 31, 32, or maybe he wanted more than that. But listen, he also wants to play, so now it's happening. The only thing that's kind of like, is that he hasn't practiced for a while. He was facing an injury, so getting him out there is, I think it's going to take just a little bit of time. I'm not saying a long time, a little bit of time to get him out there, just coming off of injury, getting out there, getting practice, knocking the rust and the dust off a little bit. But he's not going to be a problem, and I'm pretty sure that Daniels is happy that he's going to be back out there. That's his guy. I think that this is going to be great for him. He wants to be there. He feels like he's getting what he wants. There should be no more issues. There should be no more problems coming out of this guy. Okay? So they get it right. They do the thing. They reward him. And now, you know, he is getting to move on and start the season. I wish that this was Micah Parsons that we were talking about right now as well. I wish that my next picture was going to be that, but right now that's not what it is. The drama is still brewing over there in Dallas, and I think that Jerry Jones kind of means business, and it's going to be one of those things where I don't know, people are saying that Micah Parsons, if he does just accept the deal or just accept that he's not going to get an extension, is going to be losing out on $1.3 million. Will he take that loss? I don't know. But Jerry Jones did make himself very loud and clear that Micah has a contract for 3 more years, and they also have an opportunity to franchise tag him. So there's that. Okay? Don't hate me, I'm just delivering the news. Getting into some messy news. The mess. Tyreek Hill is going through a messy divorce. Is messy. But to be honest with y'all, Tyreek has been messy. This is nothing new. We're not going to sit and pretend like this is new. They've been married for 17 months, but they were together longer than that. She does have a child with him. I also reported a couple videos ago that they had a domestic violence dispute. There was recordings of it, and they have kind of been separate really since then, right? And I have reported that some of this was coming and this was going to be on the way. We also know that Tyreek Hill has also welcomed other children that are not from Keeta, his wife. Cheetah and Keeta, right? But Cheetah is really like, you're a cheater. Okay? So she was fed up. She probably was okay with the cheating, right? She probably wasn't too okay with the kids. You on kids, yeah, he got like 10 of them kids, right? She probably wasn't okay with you keep adding kids to the plot, right? Especially when she just had one, and we don't know if she was gonna do postpartum or not. We don't really know, but what we do know is she had a baby, and right after the baby, there was another baby coming out of the woodwork somewhere. Okay, so again, she probably was okay with the cheating. She probably was not okay with continuing to add kids to the Hill bunch. Okay, let me see how many kids they got. hmm This one's saying at least 7, but I think it's way more than that. It's probably like 11. Jesus. Um, they're saying there's at least 7 confirmed, but I believe it's more than that because I've seen a couple other articles where they were saying that he has probably like upwards 10 to 11 kids. Like he's on the Nick Cannon path. You know, surprised we haven't heard the Nick Cannons having any more kids yet. But anyway, yeah. So she probably knew about the cheating, and probably allowed him to go and be with other women because if you know your man, you know your man. She married him. The ex fiance Crystal was like, "You're not about to keep playing in my face. I'm getting out of here." Okay, you already gave me a child, and now you have all these other children. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out of here, right? Keeta was like, "I'm good." So we're gonna do it or what? She knew what she signed up for in that sense, right? I do not think that she signed up for you to be trying to knock her head between the washer and the dryer. I don't think she signed up for that. Especially just after having the baby. No. She was like, no, 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 sir. That's where you got me effed up, right? So now she's like, yeah, we're gonna get a divorce because if I allow you to hit me once, and maybe she did, I don't know. This is all alleged and speculation. Let me just put that out there because I'm not trying to get sued in any other way. Okay, because the only thing y'all can be able to take is my pretty girl sign, and y'all can't have that. I'm just saying. But we don't know if he hit her before, but we just know about this dispute. But she probably was like, if I allow you to keep putting your hands on me, the behavior is not going to change. So this is not going to happen. And we don't really know if they were toxic to each other. We don't know any of those things. But what we do know is that things took a turn real fast, too quick. That's what I'm gonna say, right? So now she's coming after it. She coming after him. And it says here, Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill will be forced to pay his estranged wife Keeta Vaccaro between $20,000 and $50,000 per month in spending money on top of a one-off check for $500,000. Hill's 15-month marriage, but it was actually 17 months. I don't know, apparently this is coming from the Daily Mail, but everywhere else is saying it's 15 months, so has become a costly mistake as she'll be getting a further north of basically $500,000. You round it up, she's gonna get $500,000. She can have a meal, right? But the fees exactly are $457,517 towards her legal fees, $100,000 to spend on a new car, and an exclusive use of Hill's $5.5 million waterfront condo in Miami. They're saying that these numbers are used to maintain her livelihood, her costs. You supplied her with this life, and now she's trying to make sure that she can stay in this life, and that's just really what alimony is for, right? And it basically says they are duking it out in divorce court, and they really don't know when they're going to come to a settlement, but they're trying to get a settlement done. And they're saying this settlement can go upwards into millions of dollars based off of like what she's asking for, the maintenance of her life. And then what's going to really bite him in the butt likely is that she's going to ask for some child and support. So, she's going to ask for child support, right? And it says that she even wanted to keep using his luxury Bentley, the SUV, and that's worth $200,000, but was told to find a new car instead and bill the athlete for $100,000. So okay, she wanted to keep using the Bentley. She has a chat with him. That's what she wanted to do. They told her no, go find a new car. $100,000 for a new car. Now, hear me out. I know their lifestyle's a little bit different. I know it's a little different, right? Okay, cool. I know it's a little different from the normal Joe Schmo, everybody, but you can get a nice car for $100,000. You can get a nice one, and if you don't, I mean, she don't gotta pay for it, right? But if you want a car that's $150,000, then you're gonna have to spend $50,000 extra dollars. You can go find you a car right now for $100,000. Let's see. Let's do some market research here. Let's do some market research, right? Okay, let's see. Cars. Let's see. She can get, and this is a 2023 though, but listen, she can get a Corvette. She can get a Mercedes, a 2025 Mercedes. I mean, she wanted to bust out some extra cash on top of that, but she can get a 2024 Mercedes. She can get, because I'm pretty sure that she wants some higher end, right? She can get an Audi. She can get looking at these different cars, there's so many cars that she can get actually. She can get a Porsche. A Porsche. Get a Porsche. Maybe not a brand new one, but she can get one. Okay. She can get a nice BMW. That not luxury enough. Yeah, I mean, she can find a little some. She better say I'm Tyreek Hill's baby mama. Or the wife. She's still the wife. I'm Tyreek Hill's wife. And ask them, ask them to cut a little discount for it, okay. She can get a Jaguar. She may not be able to get the Bentley, but she can get a nice car. That's what I'm saying. She can get a nice car. Better than a nice car the majority of us are driving. Most, hey. Okay, you better go get you a nice little car that she can fit that baby in. Okay, unless you get one of them old, like you get an older Bentley that can go into the price of what they told you. But you got $100,000 to use right now. Okay, you got $100,000. If it was me, which is not, but if it was me, I'm gonna go get a car that I obviously pay out, right? And that'll be, the cost of tags, title, taxes, or whatever. But they in Florida, so it might not be no taxes on it. I don't know how Florida cars work. Do you pay taxes on your cars in Florida? Let me know. But if there's no taxes on the car, you have a little bit more money to spend in. Okay, so you better get a car that is paid off. You don't got to worry about nobody coming to get it. You don't got to worry about having to pay no payments on it. And if you really was smart, you wouldn't use maybe they said they got to send him a bill. So I would say if he's gonna give you the money, then I would get the car and I would get something else, or I pay something else. But you got to send him a bill. So I would use the whole thing. I'm gonna use the whole thing. He's already paying your legal fees, so I would use the whole thing. The whole thing. Get something paid off so that way you ain't got to worry about it. Okay? So that's what I would do. If I was in a situation and they telling you got $100,000 to spend on a car, oh yeah. I'm going to be, yeah, you're going to get a nice one. It may not be, you may not be able to get it customized and all that, depending on what kind of car you get. So, but that's a lot more money. I think that anybody would be like, you give me $100,000? Oh, babes, yeah. You can go get 2 cars. You can go get 2 cars. Get one a little bit more lavish, one that's a little bit more day-to-day, That's it. Is she even driving it anyway? Are you even driving it anyway? I don't know. I do agree though that he should have to maintain and take care of, making sure they have a house or a house. I would say a head to make sure that she and the child have somewhere to lay their head. Not necessarily because of her. I'm only thinking outside of the box because of the child, because they do have such a young child together. So you should want your kid and she's not your ex-wife yet, your kid and your wife to have a safe place to lay their head and to sleep. If you didn't want them to be in the Miami condo, then move them to somewhere else, to wherever. If you want to pay it off, if you want to pay the rent for a year, like, if it, again, I can only speak to say if it was me in the situation, or I'm thinking outside the box, like what would have made this a little more easier on him. Like, the season about to start. This is not the distraction that you actually need to be going through. So I would have been like, okay, look, if we're gonna do a divorce, we're gonna do a divorce. Here is this condo, and I've paid it off for a year, and while we're working through the divorce or whatever, or hell, just let her stay there. Just let her stay in the condo. You want to stay here, fine. You stay here, and you go live somewhere else, or stay in there with her. That's really up to you, right? But I would make sure that okay, yeah, go be comfortable. Go be comfortable. I would just show a level of like non-botherness, but also just saying like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Don't even worry about it. Especially when you know that you was putting your hands on her allegedly, and you was having more babies on her. Come on now. You knew you was doing her wrong. So the least you could do was just take care of her so she shut up and leave you alone. She probably not gonna ever leave you alone, just being honest. But you knew that you was doing the dirty, right? So go ahead and just take care of it. Just take care of it. You got enough. You got enough to take care of it. Just take care of it. Get out the way. All right. You already said you're gonna you gonna give her money for the new car. She gotta bill you or bill your lawyer. Boom. So the car. If you're gonna let her stay in the condo, let her stay in the condo. Boom. Stay in the condo, girl. And then if after you get divorced, if you don't want her to be in the condo no more, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just place you and the baby because I care about you, because you got my child. Boom. Put them in somewhere. Let them be. Like, let it be. She asking for it. I mean, rightfully so. She could be asking for a whole lot more. I know people saying, oh, it's only 17 months of marriage. Yeah, but you got to look at some of the circumstances and the conditions of it. She may have signed up for some of it, but she probably ain't signed up for all of that. She probably likes her head not between the washer and the dryer. I feel like she was with him because I feel like this might bite me back in the butt. Although, yeah, she likes the lifestyle, she likes him, she likes the money and all that, but I feel like she actually wanted to be with him. She liked being with him. From what I've seen and from what I know, they had a decent or a good relationship from what we saw in the beginnings of it all. They went through the whole pregnancy thing, and like I said, she probably did know about the other women. She probably did know that he probably fathered some other kids and probably didn't like that part. But all the other toxic stuff that came with it, she probably did not want that. And that's okay. If you decide that at some point you don't want something, then you be done with it. You get rid of it. You move on from it. And that's what she's doing. And in that process, because they were married, because he has money, because he introduced her to a lifestyle that she wants to continue to maintain, which she's not going to be able to do that without him. If she gets a lump sum of $500,000, that's only going to make it but so far. Right? Just only going to get but so far. So the lifestyle she's living now is much more lavish and luxury. So after a while, she's going to have to figure out something else. So yeah, she's going to get all that she can get from him for this whole situation. But at least I commend her for not staying in a relationship where he was consistently knocking your head between the washer and the dryer. So yeah, girl, use your money to get a nice car. Make sure it's paid off. And Tyreek, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I know you ain't watching my show, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe put her up. Pay the bills off for a year or so, because you can do it. Make sure the child's taken care of. And move on. Move on with your life. But, hey. Anyway, we're going to move on to some basketball news. Boom. Shaq Shaq is basically willing to invest into LSU's arena. There's been talks that if they give him naming rights for the next 10 or so years, then he's willing to put in, millions and millions of dollars into this arena to rebuild it, to, enhance it in a lot of ways. I think that the arena is already nice. I think that it's going to be even more chef's kiss once more money goes into it, from the court to the locker rooms, just the whole establishment. And Shaq is, I mean, why not? Shaq is Shaq. Shaq is one of the most greatest businessmen in every way. Like, he has so much going on. The Shaq Diesel stuff, DJing parties and things. He be getting on the ones and twos in Vegas. From the gummies, regular gummies, I think they call Shaqalicious. They like $4 in the store, and I think that's a little overpriced. And I won't be buying those Shaq head gummies for $4. I'm not doing it, but somebody is obviously doing it. It just ain't me. It ain't me. Somebody send me $4 so I can go get the gummies and I'll go try them. But I'm not spending my own $4 on the gummies, because if I don't like them, I'm gonna be pissed. Be very pissed. But he has a strong business portfolio with a lot of other businesses, like businesses you wouldn't even think that he's a part of and that he's on the ownership team of, and or has some type of stock in. He does. He got the general car insurance. Don't get that insurance, by the way. Just don't even do it. But that and so many other things that he's a part of. So he has a lot of generated revenue, a lot of money. Stock portfolio is up. So, and he's known for helping out the smaller people in the world, especially women. If you pretty and he like the way you look, he got a type though. He got a type. You seen the women that he be with. You seen who he was married to. So, not everybody can get the money that he'll give out, but he buying couches for women, paying for days of work at stores and things, and he has no problem with putting out money. So I know for a fact this is business when it comes to him putting money into this arena. And it's going to be nice. It's going to be excellent. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. So that's just why I wanted to bring on that. Because okay, Shaq, getting your name on a building. Okay. Now, an HBCU I cannot get that out. I don't know what was just happening here. But in HBCU news, they are getting a former 5-star basketball player in Arterio Morris. And that's how you say his name. He is going to be going to Bethune-Cookman. Yes. He is taking his talents to Bethune-Cookman. And I know a lot of people are like, what? You leaving Texas, former 5-star athlete, and everybody has their reasons for why they want to go to places, because maybe he wants to help, boost up that program over there. Maybe he wants to go to a school where he feels as though that, he can share his talents and really, really shine and really, really get the time that he's looking for. Maybe he likes the coach. Maybe he likes Coach Thad, and he likes, what he brings in that program in some way, somehow. Whatever the reason is, welcome to HBCU. It's going to be an amazing experience. Bethune-Cookman is one of the HBCUs that a lot of people don't really talk about when it comes to like sports and athletics. But hey, they also have they actually have a lot of well-known people's kids. That didn't sound right coming the way it is, but like they have some celebrity kids that actually go to Bethune-Cookman, and a lot of people don't realize that. But yeah, so they're getting a new talent. I can't wait to see what he does and what he brings to the court. And yeah, I just felt like we needed to talk about that and bring it out on a 1-2 step. I'm still backing up, y'all. Okay, boom. All right, some things I was just going to just touch on, talk about, move it on. Okay? Did y'all know that Babe Ruth is still alive? Did you know that? Did you know that he resurged from the heavens upon us and came back to earth and to be here with all of us to cash some checks. Yes. Yes, he is. Okay? This is Babe Ruth, y'all. I was trying to say so serious. I was trying to say serious. I tried and I ultimately have failed. Okay. Now, y'all. Tennessee got some things going on over there. Y'all be thinking that. Y'all be thinking that it's Florida, that it's Texas, even Georgia and Ohio. Those are, when I say those are the states that always got something going on. New York too. Try New York, yeah. Those are the states that always have something going on, right? But y'all, Tennessee be sliding and Tennessee be close underneath the radar. I don't know. I don't know how, but yeah, Tennessee be coasting underneath. They be having some things going on too. And this guy here, right? This guy was saying and going by Babe Ruth. And he was using the name of dead baseball. I had to think about if I can actually say that word over here. But he was using the names of deceased, let's use that that's a better word, baseball players to defraud people. Financial fraud. He was impersonating them, y'all. And before y'all just think I'm joking and playing, first of all, you can see his mugshot. You see his mugshot. Okay? So we can't say that I'm up here making stuff up. This is his mugshot. And I put this picture up here for a reason. So well, you know this man really is about to do some time. This man he got caught. Okay? And he got caught by the feds. The feds don't play, honey. So in the article by the Men's Journal, you can go on themensjournal.com/news/feds arrest man named Babe Ruth. It's actually the whole title of the article. But you can go on there and you can find it. Or you just type in Babe Ruth man fraud. Get into it. Now, he has been known as Babe Ruth, and he has been charged with impersonating deceased baseball players. Right? Allegedly. He's allegedly been stealing the identities of these players to make fraudulent claims for payouts and class action settlements. And that quote came from the New York Times. Right? Okay. Now, giving you back history, Babe Ruth died in 1948 at the age of 53. Okay? So, if we're in 2025, and he died in 1948. This man might be a genius. Because who let him use the name Babe Ruth and didn't question it? Who did it? Who did it? Okay. I mean, I'm looking at, they could have been cousins. All right, I'm gonna bring up a picture. Excuse me, y'all. Let's see if the picture pops up here. Let's see. I'm gonna finish reading the article, but the fact that people thought it, because that means Babe Ruth would have to been how old? Let's see. Hold on. Because when you sit and you think about it, it's 2025. He died in 1948. He would be 77 years old. So, okay. He probably got some young person that didn't know what was going on. This is Babe Ruth, y'all. This is Babe Ruth. So when you look at these two, I'm put them all beside me. I gotta stop laughing at me to get up to. This man say, "No, I'm the real Babe Ruth." That's what that man said. He said, "I'm the real Babe Ruth." That's what he said. This man right here, this man in the green that has been arrested by the feds. And they're like, it is no way that you are the real Babe Ruth, because that Babe Ruth died in 48. Okay, so it's no way that you are Babe Ruth. Unless Babe Ruth, I guess you're telling me Babe Ruth really ain't died. That's what you're saying. Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? So the feds trying to figure out, like, is this what you're saying? Okay, but the article says the suspect's name is George Herman Ruth. So maybe his nickname was Babe. Okay, because his last name is Ruth. That's why he look like cousins. That's why he look like cousins to me. Okay, we're getting to something now. We're getting there. Okay, George though is 69, so he's not. He can't be the Babe Ruth that died in 48, because he would have to be 77 today. He's 69. He had a couple years off, right? So he is from Mooresville, Tennessee, and he is facing 91 counts in connection with allegedly stealing the names of more than 100 retired or deceased MLB stars in an attempt to make more money through settlements. Authorities are unclear at this time whether Ruth was born as George Herman Ruth, or if he changed his name at some point. So you mean to tell me you arrested this man and you still don't know his actual true identity? Okay. The feds got some working it out to do. Right? But 91 counts. Brother, you gonna have to hang it up. You're done. The offenses include aggravated identity theft, mail fraud, the fraudulent use of multiple social security numbers, money laundering, making false statements to his probation officer, and possession of firearms after having previously been convicted of felonies. According to the indictment against Ruth, not Babe, George, right? The suspect earned as much as $550,000 through his alleged schemes. Those reportedly include such disparate claims as disputing the price of contact lenses to filing a racial discrimination suit against an employment agency. Authorities claim that Ruth used about 12 P.O. boxes in various cities throughout the state, registered to himself, and other businesses. He just made businesses up, right, to communicate with class action administrators and to file the claims using the names of baseball players and the social security numbers of other victims. Ruth was previously facing similar charges, right? Having once pled guilty to a social security fraud scheme. He was sent to prison in 2020 before being released on probation in October of 2023. He completed his probation last month. So as of July 2025, his probation was done. So he only had about 2 years of probation for fraud, and he went right back and did the exact same crimes. He said, yeah, this time I'm going to make it even better. He said, this time I got it. This time I'm going to use famous baseball stars. They're retired. First of all, if they're alive and you were stealing their names and information, that was dumb, because you should know you was going to get caught. They may be retired, but they not dumb. Using deceased ones, I can see that, because they deceased, and sometimes death certificates and things happen. I know when it came to my grandmother, her death certificate was it took them a long time to make her death certificate. So if somebody wanted to go in and put out things in her name and stuff like that, they could have actually done it because her death certificate took so long to get registered through the state and all of that. And it was some issues and some problems with that. My family handled that at the time. I was still a senior in high school, so I really didn't have too much of anything, but I do know that that was a problem. That was an issue because I think at some point somebody was using my grandmother's name and had got tickets or something through tolls in New Jersey. You literally have to go through tolls and all that other stuff. So like people was running it up with her name, and my mom and all them was like, nah, you're bugging. She passed away. How she run up the bill? She passed away. So George, or whatever your name is, but if you're on probation under George, we're gonna say your name is George. We're gonna say your name is George. So maybe maybe he was born George Herman Ruth. Maybe he's a long lost relative of the legendary Babe Ruth. We don't know. Maybe his nickname was Babe Ruth, and he was just like, it's not my fault that y'all was mistaking me for the Babe Ruth. I don't know, but if you going around impersonating yourself saying you were the Babe Ruth and using their names and all of that, yeah, you deserve to go down, buddy. Yeah, you deserve to go down for sure. Because you tried it. You were trying it. Yeah, he was bugging. But yeah, guys, Tennessee got some stuff going on right now. They do. They do. First it was Jay Cutler. Now it's him. Ain't that something? 91 counts is crazy. That's crazy. Woo. Okay. Before I move into my basketball stuff, I do want to talk about Naomi Osaka. So I didn't know. I've been watching a lot of shows on Tubi lately. I'm not even ashamed to say that. They have some really good shows on there. They've uploaded some even older movies on there, some older TV shows like Girlfriends if you want to watch it. They have all types of stuff on it. And it's really, really good. Like if you like Liam Neeson, they got almost every movie that he's ever been in over there on Tubi. So they got a lot of stuff. They do have some off-hinge independent films, and you're like, why is this on here? But they also do have some other great things on there as well. But I one day was just turning it on and I seen documentaries. I love watching documentaries to get to know more about, whoever you're trying to learn about or to learn more about history. Not all documentaries are truthful documentaries, so you got to be careful about the knowledge and the research that you're taking in, because not everybody does their due diligence with doing research, right? But for this, Naomi is still very much alive. So I would assume that this documentary is was heavily involved by her. She was heavily involved in the documentary. And I would think that it will be heavily based on her life and the facts that are going on in her life as she is still alive and her parents and her family members are still alive and are able to be in a testament to what's going on. This documentary that's on Tubi was really, excuse me, I know I told y'all I'm a little under the weather, but this documentary was essentially going through her journey a bit of before tennis, before she blew up with tennis, before she had her baby, and it's also showing a little bit of after she's had her baby. It's really like a dedication documentary to her daughter, and it's called The Second Set. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, second set when you do tennis. And what I liked about it is that she's narrating a lot of it, and we are getting to see a different side of her. I give her a lot more respect now that, and understanding, and a little bit more grace. I gave her grace, but a little bit more grace now that I got to see the documentary and her really explaining how tennis was really all that she knew, was really her whole life. She made tennis her identity, which will make sense because I always felt like she was just a little, I don't want to say off, but I just felt like she's always like a little awkward, And it's likely because all she ever knew and all her brain thought about and all she represented herself was tennis, right? Like I love the documentary, how it shows her personality a little bit. It shows, her going through the motions of happiness, sadness, anger, all of these things. Like we're getting to see an inside story and an inside version of what did she go through and how is she facing that. I love that she talked about postpartum and how everybody told her about postpartum, but she didn't really think that it was going to affect her as much because she knew about it. But then she realized like going through postpartum really took a toll on her. She started training a month after she had her baby to get back on the tennis court. She was going to, at one point, retire from tennis and be done with it. And then after she had her baby, she realized, like, no, I want to be able to do this now for Shy. Her daughter's name is Shy. Do it for Shy. And in the documentary, she's talking about a lot of how she always wanted to be a mom. She always wanted to have this joy. And now that everything that she does it from the viewpoint of Shy, of giving her the experience and showing her exactly what chasing a dream and what it looks like. And it just opens you up to understanding like the life and the role and the mindset of an athlete from when she has to leave her daughter sometimes, of her bringing her daughter and really seeing her ups and downs. A lot of people don't show you their downs. We've seen it. We've seen that she lost some matches. We've seen that she went, and when she lost to Coco Gauff, she just lost to Victoria not too long ago in the Canadian Open. And it actually shows how she went really to prepare herself to go on basically like a world tour for tennis, which I didn't even know. I learned a lot of things about tennis by just watching this documentary of how there's so many different types of, surfaces that they play on, clay and all the. I'm again, me being a little ignorant to the sport, I'm not knowing or thinking that there's multiple different, types of surfaces that they play on. And she's known for not playing that great on clay. And she's, you know, trying to learn more about it, get her bearings. And she went out and had an excellent game. She didn't lose, but she had an excellent game on clay. And it just like kind of woke her beast up inside of her. And really just seeing how she had to go through and how she, takes losing and how she has to now go back and start over, and she keeps conditioning and keeps training. And the fact that tennis is really, it's really her life. It's really, really her life. And it's a great documentary. And I think that everybody should just go take a look at it. Just go watch it. You will never ever know what somebody is going through, who somebody is. You would never know until they share a little bit of a piece of them. And for her to still be so young and still getting through her career, and she's faced a lot of down moments. She faced a lot of criticism. She's faced just a lot of different things so far in her life and her career. That it's a good, sweet moment that you kind of get to see who she is on the other side, and seeing her be a mom and really trying to work out being a mom and being a tennis star at the same time. A 4-time Grand Slam champion, by the way. So I think you should check it out on Tubi. Obviously, Tubi's free to watch. Check it out. It's a really great documentary. I still think she was being a mean girl towards Victoria, and I stand on that. But I can give her a lot more grace now, knowing what she put her body through so quickly after having her baby, and really trying to find her bearings and find her grounds to get back to winning, to being that champion that she is. Excuse me. So yeah, check it out. It's on Tubi. Tubi. All right, moving on. Yeah, 2 more topics to talk about here, but Candace Parker, one of my favorites. She got her jersey retired for the second time. She now has jerseys in 2 different arenas. The LA Sparks retired her jersey. Excuse me. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. I feel like I need to take some allergy med. I feel like every time I go from being out in the rain and going into heat and then going into air conditioning, it tears your girl up. Okay. All right. Woo. Okay. No, I'm just crying because Candace Parker got her jersey retired. No. You can hear it in my voice is a little, But anywho, going back to this, one of my favorites, Candace Parker, got her jersey retired by the Chicago Sky. So as I said, she now has her jersey in two different arenas because she's literally her. Okay. The LA Sparks did retire her jersey. And now the Chicago Sky has also retired her jersey in a really great ceremony that they did for her. I loved how the players on both sides of the ball, I said both sides of the ball as if we're talking about football. Both teams really showed up and showed out for her from wearing like throwback jerseys or t-shirts or things in representation of her. And if you probably wondering like, well, why? Like why did Chicago Sky? Well, she actually brought them a championship. Yeah, she led them to a championship in 2021. So they're like, yeah, we need to submit this in history, and they retired her jersey. So I think it's really cool. I think it's really sweet. I think it's, a great moment for her. She is one of the best to ever do it. So I think that this is just absolutely amazing. And just seeing her progress outside of basketball from being a color commentator to her being, I believe it's the president of like branding for basketball with Nike, and just all the things, the wonderful things that she is doing, moving into the second life, the second career for her. And I love seeing her with her kids, and just seeing her with her family in general. So congratulations, Candace Parker, for continuing to make history and continuing to be that woman that we all can look up to and, you know, just gush over and rave about because you're doing so many great things. So yeah, congrats on that. I thought that was really, really amazing and so cool. Another person that we can gush over and about is Caitlin Clark. Now, as you guys know, she, signed a deal with Nike and she became one of their signature athletes, and she's finally getting her signature shoe to come out, and her logo dropped of what her logo is going to be. And I absolutely love it. I love it. It gives me luxury. It reminds me, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of Gucci in a way. But it gives me luxury. It gives me classic. It just gives everything that it needs to give. I love it. I love it. Did I say I loved it? I love it. Um, at the game today, they were giving out T-shirts with the logo on it. It said, Caitlin was here. I I really love how the teams are embracing their athletes as individuals when they're, whether if it's, Barbie night, Caitlin Clark was here night, um, Wilson, when she had her thing with the pink, with the sneakers, and just all types of stuff that's going on. I love the fact that they are taking the time to really promote and be a part of that individuality of their players. I think it speaks volumes of those teams and within the WNBA. And I hate that every time they do these games, they're giving out the t-shirts to all the fans, that I'm not there. How can I need to get on the mailing list. I need to get on the email list. I need to get on something so that way I can get the news. Because when her shoe finally drops and comes out, I know they're going to do it big that night too. So I need to be in the building. Okay? I need to get me one of these shirts. I feel like it can be created into a nice brooch. You can wear the brooch, cute little earring. Like this, the logo is chef's kiss. Like, I love it. I would wear it. It's giving high-end luxury fashion brand logo. Like, understood the assignment. And it is so simple. It's so simple, but it's so good at the same time. So I love it. I think the shoe is going to be great. People think that she don't have style, but I mean, she's showing us otherwise. Whoever is a part of whoever is a part of like her branding and her marketing team is doing really, really well. Doing really, really well. And, yeah, I like it. I like it. I know I said it reminded me, what I'm saying when and let me say this again. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, it reminds me of like the Gucci logo. And although Gucci has the G and the C face, not the G and the C, the two G's facing each other intertwined, it kind of reminds me of this in a way. This reminds me of that in a way. It's just facing a different position. But how Gucci is just right away, it's recognizable, it's classic, it is something that is like, oh, I want to wear that, oh, that's high end, oh, it's giving luxury and comfort, and like this is my Gucci purse, like people are gonna be like, this is my Clark purse, these are my Clark sneakers. It's giving luxury. Like, she's a luxury girly. I feel like everybody else's logo, and this is no tea, no shade, because everybody else has nice logos as well. But I feel like her logo expands beyond the court. It expands beyond just a tennis shoe. Her pants that she wore today with the logo on them, I need those. I need those. Let me see if I can find them. I ain't even think to find a picture of her. Hold on. Like high-end fashion pants. Yeah. The girl looks good. Do you understand? She looks good. Uh-oh. Knocking my thing over. Like, it's given high-end fashion. It's given beyond the courts. She don't just want to sell sneakers. She wants to sell the brand. She wants to sell the lifestyle. She wants to sell the fashion, the experience. And that's what you want. I mean, that's what I would want. That's what I would want. Like, why would you want anything different than that? It goes beyond. And it's a logo that is very much, like I said, it's sleek, it's classic. It can, it can be put on, like, I'm wearing the Caitlyn. I'm wearing the Caitlyn Clark. My picture didn't save. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't save, but let's see. Let's see, because you guys have to see what I'm talking about. Yeah. If I gotta why did I do that? If I gotta screenshot it, I will. Don't play with me. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's about to pop up now. It's probably gonna be hopefully not. It's gonna be a real big image. I knew it was gonna do that. Now y'all. All right, I'm gonna cover it big. But you see the pants? Do you see her outfit? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's given beyond the basketball court. It's given I'm already making fashion, and I'm making a statement already. Everybody else that I've seen so far when it come to rocking their logo and stuff, I've seen it on a sweatshirt, I've seen it on sweatpants, I've seen it on a t-shirt, and this to me is, yeah, it's a fashion outfit. It's a fashion outfit. It's giving me, I want to make this a lifestyle brand, a lifestyle luxury brand. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I do. I need those pants. I want those pants. I do. I think that they're so cute. And like I said, I could see it being just a emblem on a purse, an emblem on, a pair of slides. I can see it being on the sneaker. I can. It's giving luxury. I want to see if I can find. And she is only the third WNBA player to have a signature line with Nike, setting the standard. Here are the other, because other teams have lines and brands and things with other companies. So you have your Adidas, you have Reebok, all the other things, all the other logos and such. But she's with Nike, and Nike knew what they were doing because they're not stupid. But these are the other logos from the WNBA women, a WNBA player. So I'm going to make it big so we can see it. Right? So here are the other, basketball player logos in general. So WNBA and NBA logos. Right? So you have Asia Wilson's up here, the X and the one. I don't know why that thing is covering. I guess it's whoever put the logo thing together. You have this logo here, which is cool, but it's giving streetwear. This is giving, again, I like it. It's very simple. It's giving streetwear. So these are the other logos that you have to look forward. This, the Shaq one, crazy. KD, like all these, majority of these logos, if you think about it, Derrick Rose, I'd love the Derrick Rose logo. But if you think about it, all of these other logos give you very casual, give you streetwear, give you sneakers. So it feels really, really great when you see something like Caitlin Clark's logo and it's giving you fashion, it's giving forward, it's giving luxury, it's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. That's what this is giving. And I love it. I think it's not, I don't even need to think. It's going to do well. It's going to do well. There's nothing that Caitlin Clark does that she does not do well. So this is going to do well. I can't wait to see what else she brings forth from this experience. This obviously Nike experience, this Nike signature style. Hopefully, because Nike does kind of expand into doing other type of clothing. I got a couple different cute tops that are not as, obviously not dressy or whatever, but I don't know if Nike's going to forever, I don't really know how the whole logo signature thing goes. Like, yes, it's her signature logo through Nike. So I don't know if Nike's going to own it, but hopefully she can expand. And if they do, she can bring in other items that are going to be nice and luxury that can, be for other fans, and they're not just casual street outfits or street sneakers, like something else. And I think that that'll be really good. I can't wait to see the sneaker. Again, I think she needs to go and do some belts. I think she needs to get Nike to make some very similar pants like that, make them some shorts as well, make a book bag. We need like a whole line. We need a whole clothing line. We don't need just a shoe. That's what I'll be vouching for. Hopefully a scarf. I would love to have a scarf that has that logo on here. Talking about look, girl. I have it in 25 different colors. All the colors that you got, I'm getting them. So yeah, I love it. I think it's great. What do you all think about the logo? What do you all think about this? Do you think that it's going to be something more than just a sneaker? Okay, I really hope that it is. But let me know if you think it's going to be something more than just a sneaker. And I think it'll be really, really good. But that is it. That is it for the show. All right. I'm going to log off. I am going to be on here tomorrow too, probably. I'll be on here tomorrow, and I'm going to be on here a little bit on Thursday. I'm going to dip it and do my thing. Saturday, we're having another just chit chat. Get ready with me because I'll be working a football game because football season is here. So I'll be doing my get ready with me, our little chit chat. So feel free to join in on Saturday. I'm going to figure out what time it's going to be, and I'm going to post it on Instagram so you can know it. Go ahead and lock in. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and hit the like button. Hit the like button. I know y'all be watching these videos. Hit the like button. It don't matter if it's 2 viewers in here. It don't matter if the video gets to 90 views. It don't matter if it get to 10K views. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I know that we are. So like the video because that's what helps it get out. Y'all don't be commenting yet, but comment below if you like what you saw. You want me to talk about a certain topic, comment it below. Y'all be hitting my DMs. I love it, but put it in the comments. All right. I love y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And I will see y'all on the next one.